Hey everyone, this is James from TDB bringing you another In-Betweenisode. Today I have a little bit of a different In-Betweenisode, going to be doing another comparison. Going to be comparing a Bingdao versus Bingdao tea. So this is an area that if you have followed the channel, you probably realize we don't talk about a whole lot. Definitely one of those really highly sought after areas. An episode like this definitely needs to be appropriately caveated to that these growing areas of Bingdao are particularly small and priced extremely highly, partly due to the scarcity of them too. So are we absolutely sure that these are from the best Bingdao area, or are they from like a surrounding area? Don't know, but assumedly they are at least good at masking kind of what could be from surrounding areas if they are from there, because they're both marketed like that way, and I believe they're both quite high priced. I know for sure that one of these is something like a $1,500 cake. So what are the two teas? The first was sent to me by Peter, and that is the BFZC Zhonglu Bingdao. I think they do a few Bingdaos. I think this is the really pricey one, the very sought after one. Anyways, I'm not totally sure. I don't think I've actually had that one yet. And then the other one is the 2006 Bingdao Lao Jai. This one is sold by Essence. It's something like $1,500 a cake. And I got a little tripped up in researching this one. I'm not totally sure if this is Malaysian or Kunming stored. It's probably going to be pretty obvious once we start drinking the tea. But yeah, definitely going to be looking for kind of the characteristic Bingdao, which from what I can understand is kind of like this rock sugar cane like thing going on, a thick body and kind of a cooling effect. I think Bingdao literally translates to ice island, so going to be kind of just keep an eye out for that. And frankly, this is just an area that has never really captivated me. Maybe I haven't run into the right tea. Maybe it's the water in Seattle, but I've always strongly preferred something like Yiwu tea, or other tea from Xishuangbana, like the western side, like Menghai area tea, and that tends to be what I focus on. So Bingdao being way up north in Linsong, definitely not something I have been seeking out, but I thought these teas kind of deserve some attention, and so I wanted to do something. So here we are, we're blinding them. I don't even know, I suppose I could guess what they are after, but I don't know either tea. I don't know Bingdao very well, so this is really kind of throwing darts at it to pick it out. I don't even know if the older tea of this is Malaysian stored. I assume the BFZC is Taiwanese stored because that's where they are based. But yes, let's get into drinking these teas. All right, so here we go. I have just given these both a rinse off camera. Let's get to steeping these guys. All right, so here we have tea on the right. Apparently I've started going right to left rather than left to right. That's what I used to do. Let me know how you guys like Bingdao tea. I'm always curious to hear what people's experiences are. So one is clearly brewing much darker than the other. Whether or not the essence of T1 is Malaysian stored or Kunming stored would play a pretty big difference in determining that. I think if it was Malaysian stored, it's pretty clearly that one is further along. Kind of a nice spicy aroma to this. This does smell like it could be potentially in that realm. Drier, piney resin. This one definitely just smells like pu'er, like something we're familiar with. Well, I did start pouring out this one, so we'll start with this guy over here on the right. Cheers. Thickness is average. There is some significant mouth cooling. There's a little bit of this numbing anesthetic quality going on with this as well. Like a bit kind of droopy, for lack of a better term. Taste-wise, pretty standard pour. Definitely on the younger side of things. I suppose I could get some sugar cane, but not in really an unusual way. Yeah, it's oddly leaving more of an effect on the bottom part of my mouth rather than the top, the roof. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, side-by-siding too, we're going to emphasize kind of the differences in kind of just the taste and texture of these teas. Yeah, this one's interesting. I mean, it seems deceptively a little simpler than it could be on the surface, but a little bit of mouth cool. I wouldn't say the mouth cool is extreme or anything like that. Anyways, let's get to this guy. Much thicker. Kind of like, what is it? Some sort of like firewood note to this. It's a little bit different than the Shagon wood, but maybe in kind of the same genre. Yeah, there's some mouth cooling going on in this one as well. So they are both exhibiting that. I would say I much prefer this one on the left so far. Part of that is simply because I have a strong preference for teas that are a bit more aged rather than less. And so that one's definitely hitting the spot as far as that goes. Yeah, interesting. Neither one has huge depth that reaches way back or anything like that, which is perhaps one of the reasons I have never gravitated towards this, because I really like it when teas are kind of have that characteristic. So we'll keep this next one short, and then for the third we'll push it maybe just a bit. So yeah, this one's definitely further along. If the Essence of Tea one was Malaysia stored, then this is definitely the Malaysian stored one. Taiwan, it can be varying amounts of dry. I would generally guess that for these kind of fancier teas, people usually are more conservative in how they're aging it. At least that's the way the trends have gone. I don't think it was always that way. There's a lot of mid-2000s Taiwan boutiques that have been stored probably a little too wet for what they are. But this is a 2012 tea, I believe, Songmu. So based off of that, I would guess that it could have been stored a little more dryly in Taiwan. So we'll take a sniff of both of these again. Definitely like firewood, kind of, yeah, pretty simple aroma coming off that guy. I want to say this is kind of like floral-ish, but it's almost a step beyond that. It's not quite like woody, but it's not exactly floral either. It's perhaps a little bit transitional between kind of getting more firmly into that semi-aged state. Okay, so snake style, going back to this one. Yeah, it has this initial, I wouldn't say it's sugar, but maybe a little bit of that like wood sweetness to it. I would say this is overall a somewhat conventional tea, but just like 20 to 30% different, where you can tell that it's something, I don't know, beyond like kind of a normal factory production or whatever. Good thickness. Definitely tastes like a single origin tea in the sense that it's not there's not like a ton of different layers or different things going on with this. Simple, but I don't really have a problem with that yet as far as this tea goes. Neither tea is giving me huge mouth cooling, but they're both giving me some mouth cooling. Cheers. Going back to this, This one tastes way greener now as a result, and I think that's just simply the contrast there. There is some nice resinous quality. I can tell this tea, they both have like decent bones. They're not weak teas. Both teas have, I would say this tea has kind of a moderate bitterness. This tea probably had a moderate bitterness at some point. I don't know if it's just kind of like that old smoky firewood sticking with me from this tea over here, but I can still kind of get that same taste over here. I have no idea if these teas were too similar back then. They both do have some similar characteristics, and I can taste the mouth going really on like kind of the roof of my mouth too. There's some nice sweetness coming in on the back, so there's a little bit of depth creeping in. I wouldn't say it's like super impressive compared to kind of what I love about Yiwu teas, but I don't know if Bingdao is ever going to really compete on those sorts of terms either. I'm going to push this just a little bit more, maybe just 10 seconds. These teas are still kind of ramping up. Yeah, we'll see. I would say that both these teas cross me as good and enjoyable. I don't know that either one has converted me to the Bingdao gang. So, I'm not going to be a Bingdao brother, at least not quite yet. Let's see if this next one does it. Yeah, just kind of a very generic aroma of Shangpur coming off of this one. Yeah, as of now, I dramatically prefer the one on the left, but almost all of that is, well, it's a little thicker, but a lot of it has to do with it simply being, presenting itself as a bit more further along and aged. Cheers. Yeah, it's decently oily, it's decently thick. The rock sugar thing is not really appearing to me in any sort of distinct way. Maybe that's something you'd get for younger Bingdao. It's fine, it's decent. Not quite, the sorts of tea that I'm going to gravitate towards. And, we're only a few steeps in, but it is not changing a whole lot steep to steep. Cheers. In comparison, this one, yeah, definitely a little thicker, a little deeper, a little more oily, and a little bit more aged. So, I'm going to guess that this one on my left is the Essence of Tea one, and this one on the right is the BFZC. Let's check. And yes, that is indeed correct. Yeah, the only caveat that could have thrown me off there is if the Essence of Tea one was actually Kunming stored. In that case, I would have probably reversed the guesses because Kunming storage just does not advance those teas super quickly. Yeah, and one of these teas, I mean, this is solid. I could drink this, although I don't think I would drink it for that price. I just don't know. It's not providing a ton of distinct things that would make me think, oh, Bingdao is something that is worth checking out. To me, at least, it just tastes like a pretty good quality raw pour, and I don't know that either one convinces me that I would want to really seek out and pay the Bingdao premium. The mouth cooling is there, but it's not that extreme. It's aged, it's a little spicy. I like the storage on it. It's nice and thick, so those aspects are going on it, but not in a way that would make me really want to shell out huge amounts of money. The nice thing is, because you can just buy a sample of these guys. So yeah, you can go ahead and check out. BFZC seems to press a lot of Bingdao. Essence of Tea just has this one. I don't think Bingdao is necessarily a specialty of theirs. It's interesting to try. So you can buy 10 grams if you like, which is what I did. Yeah, I don't think this is one that I will be re-upping for either of these. I may bring on the BFZC onto an episode with Denny, just because that's something we don't usually feature, and maybe Denny can pick up on something that I don't. That wraps up this Inbetweenisode. Let me know how you liked it, and I will see y'all next time. Cheers. Okay, so yeah, real quickly, here on the left we have the Essence of Tea one, and here on the right the BFZC. And so yeah, you can tell pretty clearly from the color that the Essence of Tea one is just much darker. Don't know if there's too much else to clean. The leaves look kind of average size. I don't think there's too much evidence of oxidation or anything like that, but yeah. So let's see, maybe on the Taiwanese one some of the stems are a little darker. Hard to say. Well, that just about wraps up this Inbetweenisode. Thanks for tuning in, and cheers.